Honorable Speaker, honorable members, Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. Federal University of Education Zaria Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Treaty Making Procedure etc. Act Amendment Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. Yusuf Maitama Sule Federal University of Education Kano Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Alvan Ikoku Federal University of Education Imo Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Federal College of Livestock Development Kusada Katsina State Establishment Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 Alteration Bill 2025, first reading.
Thank you very much, Clerk.
And Professor Julius Sinhovere, Owa Federal Constituency, Edo State. I rise to move that a bill for an act to establish Federal University Okigwe, Imo State, to make comprehensive provisions for its due management, administration, and for related matters, SB 396, be read the second time. I so move.
Minority Leader.
The athletics of generating ideas and applying them to specific areas of society that may be badly in need. We need more universities. I listened to news yesterday, and they were saying we have too many universities. That is not exactly true. We need more to address the developmental needs of this country. And Imo State in particular, where I happen to have served as a youth corps, needs this institution to move forward.
All right. Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, the question is...
A bill for an act to establish Federal University of Okigwe, Imo State, to make comprehensive provision for its due management.
Second order of the day is commencement of instruction, training, and research in the exploration and exploitation of minerals. For Jonathan Bayfi Gaza. Members recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 20th February.
Gaza Jonathan Bayfi, and once again I rise, but this time to move a motion for the establishment, for a bill for the establishment of the Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences, Garaku, to provide for courses of instruction, training, and research in the exploration and exploitation of mineral resources for national development and for related matters. Honorable colleagues, Right Honorable Speaker, I so move.
Thank you. Any seconder? You have any
it's quite straightforward, just as you said, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
But just that can at least sharpen their skills to bring about best practices in mining. So that's just a synopsis of the whole bill.
Thank you very much. So I just put
Garaku to provide courses of instruction, training, and research in the exploration and exploitation.
The third order of the day is commencement of debate on general principle of the constitutional alteration bills.
I'm from Delta State. I rise to move that the House do suspend Order 8, Rule 7.2 of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives to enable debate on the constitutional alteration bills such that they be taken simultaneously. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, move that the following bills 1 to 44 be read the second time. These include HB, that's 3 to 44. HBs 200, 1310, 1446, and 1546. Honorables Abbas Tajuddin, OK Chinda, Gaza Jonathan Bafi, Ikegwono Onyeye Ugochinyere.
That is what I want you to do, leader.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's appearing the same way on your paper.
No.
You can see the constitutional amendment provisions classified under subheads. Like the one you're mentioning now falls under devolution of power.
Okay.
So these are the constitutional amendment falling under devolution of power. HB that, sponsored by that. And then we'll get to strengthening of institutions. Constitutional amendment bordering on constitution of institutions, that follows state creation, traditional institution, so that we'll know where you are leading us. Thank you, Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The first one I just read is under devolution of powers. HB is 1411, 1403, and 1918. Honorables Babajimi Benson and Mukta Chawai. HB 1406, Honorable Babajimi Benson. HB 1431, Honorable Ikegwonu Ugochinyere. HB 2060, Honorable Benjamin Okeze Kalu and Mohammed Mukhtar. HB 1412, Honorable Babajimi Benson. HB 1543, Honorables Abbas Tajuddin and Marcos Onobu. HB 1512, Ikegwonu Oyinye Ugochinyere and 33 others. Strengthening of institutions. HB 188, Honorable Saidu Musa Abdullahi. HB 770, Honorable Lawale Raji. HB 1141, Honorable Mansour Manusoro. HB 1144, Honorable Mansour Manusoro. HB 1664, Honorable Solomon T. Bob. HB 1694, Honorable Mansour Manusoro and one other. HB 1697, Honorable Mansour Manusoro and one other. HB 2061, Honorable Benjamin Okeze Kalu and 6 others. State creation. HB 1098, Honorable Oluwole Oke. HB 1308, Honorable Gali Mustafa Tijani. HB 1430, Honorable Ikegwonu Ugochinyere. HB 1998, Honorable George Ozodinobi. Traditional institutions. HBs 203 and 71, Honorable Ikegwonu Ugochinyere and Honorable Abdullahi Al-Mustafa Aliu. Citizenship. HBs 1195 and 1422, Honorable Daniel Asamal Ago and Honorable Kafila Togbara. HB 2057, Honorable Benjamin Okeze Kalu and 6 others. HB 2059, Honorable Benjamin Okeze Kalu and 6 others. Fundamental rights and objectives. HB 2120, Benjamin Okeze Kalu and 6 others. HB 1194, Honorable Daniel Asama Ago. HB 1517, Honorable Obinna Agocha. And HBs 1661 and 1206, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, Honorable Mark Husseini, and Daniel Asama Ago. Local government. HB 1314, Honorable Benedict Etanabene. HB 1482, Honorable Abbas Adigun. HB 1522, Honorable Obolum Ipong Ete. HB 1523, Honorable Obolum Ipong Ete. HB 1669, Honorable Eugene Okechukwu. HB 1524, Honorable Amobi Godwin Oga. HB 1498, Honorable James Abiodun Faleke Honorable Babajimi Benson, Honorable Etinan Badru, and 19 others. HB 1614, Honorable Amos Magaji Gwamna. HB 1680, Honorable OK Chinda. HB 2028, Honorable Olufemi Richard Bamishile. HB 2121, Honorable Benjamin Okeze Kalu and 6 others. HB 1999, Honorable George Ibezimako Ozodinobe. HB 1215, Honorable Solomon T. Bob. And HB 2100, Honorable Harrison Anozike Umadike. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Minority Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to say in the House Order Paper items 3 to 44. I so second.
Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The clerk is invited to read the long titles of these bills.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to decentralize the governance of natural resources in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, transfer mines and minerals, including oil fields, oil mining, geological surveys, and natural gas from the executive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the second schedule to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to rename and transfer fingerprints, identification and criminal records in Part 1, exclusive legislative list to Part 2, concurrent legislative list and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the concurrent legislative list of the second schedule to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to insert a new paragraph which provides for road, toll, and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to move construction of roads other than Trunk A, federal roads, concurrent legislative list, and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to provide for the inclusion of tourism and tourism-related matters on the concurrent legislative list and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to insert a new item in the executive legislative list with respect to piracies and crimes committed on the high seas and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the second schedule to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, transfer quarantine from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to move water for domestic, commercial, industrial, irrigation, power, and other uses to the concurrent legislative list to allow state government put to sustainable use water within their state, make provision for state government to access mines in their states, provide for the financial autonomy of local government councils by prescribing an independent consolidated local government council account and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to increase the number of members of the Federal Civil Service Commission to provide for each state of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, the opportunity of one-person representation and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to mandate all government statutory corporations, commissions, authorities, agencies, including all persons, bodies established by law to submit the yearly financial statement to the Auditor General within a specified period and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to strengthen transparency and compliance to the principles of federal character and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to provide for the public disclosure of reports of the Auditor General of the Federation and for Auditor General of a state and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to qualify immunity conferred on the President, remove the immunity conferred on the Vice President, the governors, and their deputies in order to curb corruption, eradicate impunity, and enhance accountability in public office and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to specify the period for the laying of annual budget estimates before the national and state houses of assembly and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to separate the offices of the Attorney General of the Federation, Attorney General of a state from the offices of the Minister of Justice of the Federal Government and Commissioner for Justice of the Government of a state and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to provide for the establishment of the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation and the Office of the Accountant General of the Federal Government and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended by amending Part 1 of the first schedule and creating additional 3 states, Oke-Ogun State, Ijebu State, and Ife, Ijesa State, and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to make provision for the creation of Tiga State from the present Kano State with headquarters in Rano and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to create a new state in the southeastern region of Nigeria known as Olu State and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to create an additional state in the southeast region of Nigeria carved from the existing 5 states to be known as Etiti State with capital at Okigwe and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to establish and provide roles for traditional rulers in Nigeria and provide for the recognition of the advisory law of traditional rulers in the Constitution and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to grant citizenship rights to spouses of women from Nigeria, specify the minimum number of youths and women that may be appointed into specific offices and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to guarantee indigent status to persons by reason of birth or continued residence for a period not less than 10 years or by reason of marriage and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to include citizenship by investment as one of the classes of citizenship in Nigeria, provide for the acquisition of Nigerian citizenship by qualified foreign investors who meet specified investment thresholds and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to review the penalties for certain capital offenses in alignment with relevant international best practices and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 by defining acts that constitute torture, inhuman and degrading treatment, and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to provide additional restrictions and derogations from fundamental rights and additional conditions for the proclamation of state of emergency by the President and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to make free, compulsory, and universal basic education a fundamental right of all citizens under Chapter 4 of the Constitution and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to substitute the names of Okpe and Sapele with Okpe East and Okpe West, respectively under Part 1, First Schedule of the Constitution and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter Part 1 of the First Schedule to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to reflect the proper name of Ibadan, Northeast Local Government Area of Oyo State and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to change the names of Eket and Esit Eket in Part 1 of the First Schedule and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to change the name of Ibeno in Part 1 of the First Schedule and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to provide for stronger measures and checks for the sustenance of the autonomy of the local government system in Nigeria and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to provide for the creation of Uturu Chize local government area in Abia State and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to accommodate the 37 development area councils of Lagos State as full-fledged local government areas, increasing the total number of local government areas in Lagos State to 57 and the total number of local government areas in the Federation to 811 and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the First Schedule to Section 3 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to reflect the proper name of Jaba local government area of Kaduna State and for related
Chairman
matters.
rules, please approach the chair.
Second reading. A bill for an act to alter Section 162, subsection 5 and 6 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to change the name of the local government from Ayekiri local government area to Ayediri local government area, Ekiti State and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to review the framework for local government administration, establish a robust legal regime to strengthen administrative efficiency, promote transparency, accountability, and deepen democratic practices at the local government level and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended to create Anocha North, Anocha South, and the Njikoka Dunukofia local government from the present Njikoka, Anocha, Dunukofia local government within Anambra State and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 to remove local government as a tier of government constitutionally recognized and funded by the federal government and to vest their creation, funding in the state government and for related matters. Second reading. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to give effect to the creation of additional local government councils in Imo State and for related matters. Second reading.
Thank you very much. 2025. Standing in the name of Honorable Francis Ejiro Waive. Honorable Waive is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Right Honorable. In line with its mandate and raised fundamental issues needed to be addressed before the bills could be transmitted to the President for assent. The House knows that the observation of the legal director is based on the inclusion of the Nigerian Police University of Science and Technology among the police training institutes, which should be through a substantive bill. Aware that the clauses establishing the Nigerian Police University of Science and Technology has been separated from the Police Training Institutions Bill 2025, thus making it a substantive bill of its own, the House resolves to commit the Police Training Institutions Establishment Bill 2025 to the Committee of the Whole for consideration and passage. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable, please, second. Second.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, my name is Raj.
Oh,
sorry.
The motion be moved by Honorable Waife for recommittal of the Police Training Institute. I say second.
Those in support of this motion say aye.
To move for the consideration of the following reports: SB 297, SB 675, SB 691, SB 396, and SB 470. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Minority Leader, please.
For consideration of 5 bills listed as items 46 to 50 in the order of the day, and to also note that these bills are all Senate bills. I so second.
Those in support of this motion say aye.
The first. The Speaker, esteemed colleagues, I rise to move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Health Institutions on a bill for an act to establish National Institute for Cardiovascular Disease Research and Treatment, Kano State, to provide treatment and research for cardiovascular cases and for related matters listed as HB 863 and approve recommendations therein. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder?
Rotimi Jr., I represent the good people of Ekiti North 1 Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker,
Development Commission Bill as well as the Southwest Development Commission Bill. I'm one of the advocates for these development commissions. It seems too much to trickle down the dividends of the democracy to the grassroots. I am sure that with the Development Commission, the impact of this administration in its effort to leave the mandate of the Renewed Hope agenda will be felt by the grassroots. I thank Mr. President for completing it in the entire geopolitical zones of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I am not from Southwest, neither am I from South-South, but what is worth doing is worth doing. So we really commend Mr. President for balancing this in the spirit of equity, that all of us will now have development commissions that will be held responsible for the development of our area. Once again, thank you, Mr. President, on behalf of the Parliament. It's a very important bill that you just assented to. Thank you. I ask the leader to move that the House do resolve into Committee of the Whole to consider all this report. Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker.
Minority Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the House do resolve into Committee of the Whole. I so second.
The ayes have it. The House hereby resolve into Committee of the Whole to consider report. Nigeria has amended, 2004 has amended, to make provisions for establishment of Federal College of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry, Alese, Gombe State, and for related matters. I invite the leader to give the synopsis of the bill in a minute. Leader, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a Senate bill, SB 297, Establishment of Federal College of Agriculture and Animal Husbandry. We have just set up a Ministry of Animal Husbandry, so I think having an institution to promote research, training, promote new technologies and new ideas, and the husbandry into separate areas, whether for food, sport, pleasure, or business, is critical. This has become a critical area in generation of forests for nations. I recommend it to my colleagues. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, honorable colleagues. It's just 3 clauses, the schedule and explanatory memorandum, including the long title. Clause 1, Clause 2, Clause 3, the schedules, the explanatory memorandum, the long title. The second bill to be considered is for an act to amend the Federal University of Agriculture Act, F22 Laws of Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to make provision for the establishment of Federal University of Agriculture, Okeho, Oyo State, and for related matters. I invite the leader again. 1 minute synopsis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is again another Senate bill, SB 720, and it's for the establishment of Federal University of Agriculture, Okeho, in Oyo State. Well, I know this territory very well. It's a very fertile, nice area. If one former president has a huge teak farm there, which is doing very well. So I think having a federal university in an area where there are already so many practicing farmers is a good idea. But more importantly, it would add to the body of knowledge and research and training and production of expanding the agricultural sector. I recommend it that we support it.
Thank you. Again, it's 3 clauses, schedule, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. Clause 1, Clause 2, Clause 3, the schedules, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. The third bill to be considered is for an act to establish the Federal University of Science and Technology, Cabo, Kano State, to make provision for its due management and administration, as well as for related matters. I invite the leader again. 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Another Senate bill. No, this is HB, House Bill. HB 868 for the establishment of Institute for Cardiovascular Disease Research and Treatment. Well, Mr. Chairman, there's not much to be said there. This is very, very critical. It's of national importance. We don't have maybe enough that are equipped. So this would simply contribute to the diagnosis and treatment of cardiovascular diseases, and our hospitals are not doing very well there. I recommend it, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. Now, we have clauses 1 to 31. We have the schedules, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. You have 48. We are dealing with 48. 48 on the other paper. Science and Technology, Cabo. So clauses 1 to 31. So it's clauses 1 to 31, the schedule, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. So we're going to start from clause 1.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, what's the point of order?
My name is Patrick Omo. Your Excellency, some of us don't have copies of what is going on, and we are see as to what provisions.
Sergeant Atam, can you give them this report?
In fact, 30% of members don't have what we are working on now, and this is not too good for us.
How many of you have this report? Please read it up. So probably you were not here when it was shared. So they will give you a copy. Quickly get a copy from Sergeant Adam. So let's continue. Clause 1.
Clause 1. Clause 1.
What?
Clause 1.
Clause 1? Yes,
Sir.
Let's hear you.
Clause 1 for the development of e-science and technology in the country. I will amend it by removing E.
Say that again.
I want to amend clause 1 sub 3 by removing E before science to read the university shall be a training institution for the development of science and technology in the country. That covers e-science.
Yeah. I agree. There's an amendment to 3. Clause 2. Because I said no more carry again. We are going to be going through them one after the other. Yes. So that if there's anything, we'll pick it up. Clause 2?
2A.
Clause 2?
2A.
Yes.
Clause 2A, sir. I'm a little bit taken aback. 2A says, the objective of the university shall be to encourage the advancement of learning in science and technology and all related disciplines.
Is it object of the university or objective of the university?
Objective or object, but my concern is after all disciplines. And to hold out to all persons without discrimination on race, creed, sex, or political conviction. I don't think it is necessary in the law establishing an institution. So I want to amend it by deleting from and to hold out to all persons without discrimination on race, creed, sex, or political conviction.
Any seconder to that amendment?
Mr. Chairman, every society, at this moment in this country, I think that is very important. I don't want to go into details. There are institutions in this country established in...
I can hardly hear you. Speak into the mic, sir.
I'm saying that this is critical because it establishes a value-free environment for studies, that whether you are physically challenged or not, you are male, female.
So are you seconding or...
I'm not seconding, I'm opposing...
You're opposing his amendment?
Yes.
But if they are using all this element, discrimination on race, creed, sex, political conviction, why is religion not there? If you are saying it's necessary. Yes, please.
I think it's, Lawan Shetima Ali, representing Vesesa. Minority leaders' observation is quite in line, but for political conviction. So if it stops at the discrimination, it cuts across every kind of discrimination we are talking of, whether in disability, race, indigeneity, or whatever.
So what is the amendment you are proposing?
What I am suggesting is encourage the advancement of learning in science and technology and all related disciplines, and to hold out to all persons without discrimination. Full stop.
That is good.
That is it.
For me, that sounds sound.
Thank you, sir.
Five. Carried. 6. Yes, 6, please. Honorable Sada.
6D, Mr. Chairman. 6D. If we look at 6D,
Honorable Sada is looking. Don't back the gavel. Don't turn your back.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
We are handling 6 now on the report, clause 6. 6D.
6D, Mr. Chairman. I think it's too, where you put the permanent secretary, then you put the federal minister of education. I think it should be a representative of the Ministry of Education. Just to remove all those, the permanent secretary.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
Yes.
Because how many institutions would the permanent secretary be involved in?
Just a representative from the ministry responsible for education. All representative of the Ministry of Education.
Yeah, the amendment is that we remove permanent secretary and make it representative from the Ministry of Education.
Yes.
Anybody countering it? Communicator, you have anything against that?
Dear colleagues, my contention with that is that it's always good to put the permanent secretary or his representative. So it's all, because somebody must designate who to come. So if you say a representative, who nominates that representative? So is the permanent secretary or his nominee? Thank you.
So that will not be...
Actually, there should be a template.
Yes.
For establishment
Here we have
bills.
We have not yet there, or if Kwigwe is talking about the representative of the Federal Minister of Education. And here we're talking about the minister, the permanent secretary, and even it's so clumsy that he's talking about his or her, his or her. I think we should be consistent in our drafting, particularly establishment laws, because generally our copy and paste.
But do you also agree that we can't just send anybody from the Federal Ministry of Education? There are some people who are, because you will see now that a PAMSEC or a minister may not like the face of the high-ranking officers and will go down the cadre and pick somebody and go and represent just to spite them.
Mr. Chairman,
so how do we cure that mischief?
Mr. Chairman, it's a standard regulation. They know.
I can't hear.
It's a standard regulation. They know people that represent ministries to councils, they are not below the directors. Usually our directors...
What are we losing? What are we losing if we say a director?
We can say a representative of the Ministry of Education, not below a director.
Below the office of a director, not below.
No. I think it's fine.
I think we're not losing anything if we do that. Is anybody having anything against that? No, okay. So, 6 as amended, carried?
Amendment, Chair.
Okay, Sada, put the amendment properly. This is what I know. This is what I know consideration of report to be. Stop, you're delaying us, chairman rules. Don't pull us back anymore. We are here to do clause by clause consideration. And that means considering everything in each of the clause. We are at liberty to even cancel a clause. We can even say the bill will not go. So don't have the impression that if it's coming from Senate, we should accept it. Hook, line, and sinker, and just look at their grammar and then pass it. No, that is not what we came here to do. Okay? So enough of that explanation. Let's go back to the bill. 6 as amended.
6E. 6E.
6 what?
6E.
6D. E.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, E, 4 persons representing a variety of interest and broadly representative of a whole federation. I think that's where we should stop.
I don't understand that particular clause. It's a big...
When you said appointed, when you continue to read the whole federation appointed by the Federal Executive Council by the virtue of the Universities Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1993 as amended, I think it's not consistent with what we have been doing in the establishment of rules, universities laws. Look at it, Mr. Chairman. Just look at it, Mr. Chairman. Read through the lines.
Making sure that the appointment will have gender element in it, will have disability element in it, maybe will have
That's why
the youth element in it, and all that.
it has already been addressed. A variety of interest and broadly representative of the whole federation. Of course, the council is appointed by the president. So why do we have to say Federal Executive Council? Why do we have?
Okay, your problem is the Federal Executive Council.
It's just to stop that E should stop where federation stopped and delete the rest of the words there. For obvious reason, the council is formed by the president. The word president can replace the Federal Executive Council.
Huh?
The word president can say Mr. President after the federation by Mr. President, or leave it there. Because we know the council.
I think by Mr. President is better.
We can do that.
Not Federal Executive Council.
Yes, by Mr. President.
Because the President doesn't need to go to Federal Executive Council to make his appointment. So I think it's a good amendment.
Yes.
Any seconder?
Why am I
Yes.
Honorable, not have it offhand as to know the provision, whether that act provided that it should go to Federal Executive Council. Because I don't know why they refer to it in this law.
Even if they made reference to that miscellaneous act, it's standard practice that the president is the head of the Federal Executive Council.
That's why I said.
So if you put president there, it suffices.
What if the act itself says Federal Executive Council should?
Then that particular miscellaneous act is in error. Because the president has the right to appoint.
Until we amend it, that is still the law. If we have made that law, that it
so
should
do we
be,
wait until we see the miscellaneous act?
it's necessary, sir, that we look at it. So
can you look at the
ask for a
miscellaneous
copy.
act? Just 1 minute. Get us the university miscellaneous provision under M. But it's Act of 1993. Do you have 2004 or 1993? Because they're supposed to have been upgraded. Laws of Federation of Nigeria.
That will step down this bill, because the bill is inelegantly crafted.
Honestly speaking.
If you look at other provisions here, 4 persons are appointed by the Senate from among its members. Perhaps the Senate is interpreted to mean the University Senate, I don't know. But if you go further, 2 persons are appointed by a congregation from among its members.
Congregation.
1 person appointed by convocation from amongst its members. Persons to be appointed to the council shall be of proven integrity, knowledgeable, and familiar with the affairs and tradition of the university. We actually need to look at it properly.
I think those registers are in order. Let me hear you, Lalo.
Representing Mongubokos Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, on 6E, I have one of the University Act here with me, and I read. This one is saying even 4. It says 4 persons representing a variety of interests and broadly representative of the whole federation to be appointed by the president. Yes, to be appointed by the president. So to be appointed by the president is what will be added in this particular clause.
Thank you.
Yes.
Not Federal Executive Council.
No, to be appointed by the president. And the issue of, yes, we have congregation and we have convocation and we have senate in the university. And all of them are representative in the council. Because it has to do with alumni of the university. They sent their own representatives as well. So that one is there as, to me, is sacrosanct.
All right, so
yes.
we're
and we have the university senate.
That is confirming what Sada Soli was saying.
Yes.
That it should be president, not Federal Executive Council.
Exactly,
as written here.
Yes.
So that one is carried as amended. Carried.
Isn't the Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, on the same 6E, it says 4 persons represent a variety of interests. That's a bogus statement. Can we identify those 4 interests instead of just leaving it open? No, but it's good we define it.
is dynamic. It could change from time to time. So I think it's in order.
Nowhere is mentioned where it's going to be the source of fund, apart from donations, grants in need, etc. The import of this is that this university cannot benefit from anything appropriation.
How about subventions?
It's not subvention. Is not an appropriation. It's not an appropriation from.
What does you've been raising your hand since on more? Can I hear you?
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, in legal drafting, there's always the need for and looking at it, this is the part 2 that makes specific provisions on how the university in issue should be funded. Whether or not that is aligning with Honorable Isiaka, my position is to support his opinion on this. We should make specific provisions, yes, on it. Whether it is in somewhere else, but then for consistency, since this is the specific provision dealing with funding, we would say that this university should be funded, and then we can couch it subject to what National Assembly has to do in terms of appropriation. And if you go down to where Your Excellency the Chairman cited as general fund is specific. Of course, it is defined clearly by the provision here, the introductory provision, which says that there shall be a general fund. So the general fund herein is limited to the ones listed as 10(1) sub A, B, C till I. So we need to make specific provisions.
Without any extra?
Yes, sir.
Except this one listed on this one?
Yes, sir. So it's restrictively used, and we need to make specific provisions for it, because this is the part that deals with funding.
Thank you. For me, I really think we are not losing anything by specifically mentioning, funds appropriate to do. If somebody takes the institution to court and says there is nowhere in your establishment act that says that funds should come from appropriation to fund you, now you are getting money from appropriation, and that they can't defend it. You just assume that as a federal institution it ought to be so. Yeah, let me.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have looked at this. What we are trying to do here is an act to establish a federal university. From tradition, most of the federal university have been appropriated for through Federal Ministry of Education. Why must we specify for this? All the appropriation to all federal universities are done through the Ministry of Federal.
I can hardly hear you, Honorable.
What I am saying that what we are trying to establish here is
Chairman Rules and Business, sit down.
Is a federal university.
Chairman Rules and Business, take your seats. If you are elected, you won't sit down when we are discussing things. The chair says sit down. And Chief Whip, you have to do your job. The committee of the whole does not mean that plenary is over. Doesn't mean that we are not lost. We should be having side discussions when consideration of the board is very good. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, what I want to draw us attention on that we are trying to establish a federal university. From history and from our deliberations here, we've always appropriated fund to all the federal universities through the Federal Ministry of Education. To add this here specifically will negate all we have been doing over time. I therefore suggesting that it's not necessary to specify it particularly for this university.
Are you saying that all our appropriation has only been for Ministry of Education? Not
to universities
don't have budget.
to universities through Federal Ministry of Education. Check our budget.
Okay. I think we have deliberated much on this, on the issue of this creating a specific line for budgets. Let me hear you communicate and then we'll run.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've listened to the draft attention debate that's ongoing about this, creating specific clause for funding, and to specifically say that we should include appropriation from the National Assembly. I doubt it. I'm not saying this with all authority, and it's apt that what does subvention mean? And you went ahead and defined subvention from probably a dictionary meaning or a literal meaning. I know that I have served in 2 councils before of university and college of education. I've never seen in any of the law or in any of the gazettes where specifically is stated. What I'm saying in essence is that for now, you have said let's put this in abeyance for us to cross-check our facts. But in the interim, the clause that talks about subvention will subsist if in the other plans that it is not so. But I think that this will be alien to all our establishment bills for tertiary institutions. Thank you.
I think we have to move ahead. Gate, why he was asked to take his seat and he walked out on the house. If not so, by tomorrow it is going to rules and it's going to ethics and privilege. There must be discipline in this house. We cannot be doing consideration of report. The chairman of rules and business is not in the house and the deputy chairman is not in the house. I'll be asking ethics and privilege to look at it if they don't come back to their seats before the end of this section. This is a parliament. 20. During consideration of report, the two, either of them must be seated to guide the house. 21.
Chairman, sir.
Yes.
With all due respect, if you grant me that indulgence to apply that we received a resolution on 18, because I just spotted something that ought to have changed.
Please say that again, I can hear.
So if I can have your indulgence to rescind the resolution that we carried, section 18, because I just spotted something.
Okay, move so that we can rescind.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Dr. Patrick Umar. I represent the Korekone Federal Constituency. I move that we rescind the earlier resolution on section 18 of this bill. I so move.
Any seconder? Yes, please.
Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Enes Namodiabo. I represent Imweze North today the Federal Constituency.
The Vice Chancellor may, in a case of misconduct by a member of the staff, which in the opinion of the Vice Chancellor is prejudicial to the interest of the university, suspend such member, and any such suspension shall be forthwith reported to the council. Now, that concentrates so much powers on the Vice Chancellor, leaves him to discretion, wide discretion, and all he does is to report to council. So I'd rather we have it that such suspension be ratified by council. Otherwise, the Vice Chancellor will become a tyrant. I understand this system, sir. I'm raising this advisedly because I'm coming from the National Assembly. So if you allow the Vice Chancellor to have such powers, he will just on his own suspend anybody he likes. He can suspend even the bossa, suspend anybody, and just report to council.
Okay, let me hear propose.
I'm sure Professor Yonvere would, he knows what I'm saying because he's from that same system.
Oh, Professor.
Yes, it is.
Yonvere is your uncle.
No, we came from the same structure. You understand what I mean?
Okay, let me brief you first.
We might not have come from the structure, but we were educated by that structure. What we're talking is always a right to be had. And that is why you actually have disciplinary committees and things like that. You cannot, by the wave of the hand, give the vice chancellor power. Maybe he does not like the color of your skirt and believe you should be suspended. And by the wave of hand, just goes ahead to do that. So no, I believe to me, there should even be an investigation before suspension. But requesting that it be ratified, I believe is equally in order. But we cannot just give one individual over-sweeping powers. That's my solution.
It's like a country. The president has a power, overriding power in certain aspect. But in the university, you have the deans. So those things have to pass through the dean before getting to the vice chancellor. It is when those things are beyond the dean's purview, that's when you start going to the vice chancellor's scope. So it just may be additional clauses into the same clause. 18 before that's one. I think the vice chancellor must also give him an overview of the university.
Okay, I'll put it to vote. Those in support.
We may say subject to recommendations from either the departmental and or faculty disciplinary committee. In every university, departments and faculties have disciplinary committees, and they must go through that process before it gets to the VC, who must report to council. Council is the final arbiter, and that's why elections to councils are usually very, very.
So you are in support of what is there as it is?
We can put an amendment here because it's not there now. To say that subject to the recommendations of the departmental and or faculty. I have had cause as head of department to investigate the staff. He wasn't satisfied with the report on that departmental committee, and we took it to the faculty committee. And the faculty committee sent it to the VC, who suspended it, but the council revised it. So I think it's just okay. I understand the point more is raising.
Okay, let's hear Honorable Falana. You know when a bill is drafted?
Mr. Chairman, only councils have the power to hire and fire. When a staff is being disciplined, the procedure is that first of all, there is query. The said staff must be queried. There must be 3 queries. And queries are not served by the head of department. Queries are served by a registrar. The head of department only lays complaint about a particular conduct of a staff. You answer the query. If after 3 queries there is no satisfactory answer and it warrants, the matter warrants dismissal or suspension, then that person's appear.
The chairman rules and business. Sit in front there. Take over that seat. Go ahead.
That person appears before the council disciplinary committee, which recommends either suspension or outright dismissal. So there are procedures. Queries 1, 2, 3. Queries are also answered. They are all issued by the registrar, not by the head of department.
All right, thank you. So we are saying that the amendment of Patrick Moore is in order. It's all right. So we'll say we can now rescind. Motion has been moved and it has been seconded. Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Now we are now.
21 is just miscellaneous and general. Carried.